In this video, I wanted to share with you a brand new feature here inside EasyStone that is really an incredible feature because I've been playing around with it for the last day or so, and it really makes certain tasks here inside CorelDRAW when we're doing our rhinestone design very easy. And so let me just show you what we're going to do. So this was a design that we did earlier in the day. Very intricate design, but very easy to do with this new functionality here inside EasyStone. So let me show you how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to plot some stones along this little swirly gig here. So we're going to come over here to our stone tab, right click on SS16 and then hit drop stone. And all we're going to do here is just come in here, and you can see we're just kind of, wherever we click, we're going to get a stone. Okay. And I'm not paying too much attention right now to the spacing between stones. I'm going to switch stone sizes. Another very key component to this function is the fact that it works with more than one stone size. We're going to switch stone size again. And again, we're not paying real much attention to the spacing between all these stones. Now, here's where the magic comes in. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to ask the software to space these stones um, so they're even spaced between every stone. So we're going to grab the freehand selection tool and make a selection of the stones that we want to space, and then we need to tell the software where the start point is. And this stone right here is the start point. So we're going to just hold our shift key down and click on it once, twice. That tells the software where to start. So now we're going to go to the editing tab and hit respace. And it says, do we want to respace the selected shapes? We say yes. And look at that. Just that quick, that easy. Look at the spacing between each one of those stones. Absolutely identical all the way down here. All right. So really simple to do. And then we can, if any stone is out of alignment, it's really easy to put it back into alignment. So let's go ahead and go back in here and grab these. Throw a weed box around them so you can see how nice and perfect that spacing is. Different stone sizes all the way around, just by selecting the stones and hitting that respace function. It actually generates the path for us automatically. So let me show you another example along that same line. We'll use a different part of the owl here. We'll just do the side of his face here for this example. So again, we're going to use SS16 stones, but I'm going to do something deliberate on this one just to show you. All right, and then we're going to switch over to SS10s. And what I wanted to show you was what happens when we deliberately leave large gaps. What happens then? Okay, and then we'll come up here, we'll do the same thing. And we'll switch back over to 10s. I think that'll be pretty good. All right, so now you can see that we have our spacing here. We're going to do the same thing though. We're going to make a selection of all those stones that we want to space, define the start stone. All I did was just double click on this start stone twice. Okay, and then come over here to the editing tab and we'll hit respace again. And yes, we want to respace those shapes. But notice now we have this big gap between stones. All right, but that's okay because we can just I'm just going to take a couple of these bigger ones here and we'll make some duplicates. And now I have this path that was auto-generated. So when I hit respace again, it's going to respace along those paths. So you can see how close the stones are now. So now let me show you this behind a weed box so you can kind of see it here a lot better. But now you see that spacing still perfect, nice and tight, but equal all the way through. And all we had to do is plot a few stones down, go ahead and space it out. That creates our path. And then if we find that the stone spacing is just a little bit loose, all we did was duplicate a couple of the existing stones and to take up that space and then replot those stones along the path that was generated the first time. So you can see how quickly we are able to sort this all out for us, and now we don't have to manually manipulate stones. And you'll see in other demonstrations this respace function um, where we're going to utilize that functionality in a variety of different circumstances where we need to sort out our stone spacing. It'll be able to do that automatically. So let's go ahead and do one more quick example here where we're going to go in and we're going to drop in some 30s here in the brow here. And then we're going to, I'll drop in a 20 on either side, and then I'll drop in a 10 here, and then I'll drop in some 6s, something like that, okay? Now, it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go in there, swoop in there, select it all. We are going to come back over here to the editing tab. We do need to tell it where the start stone is. Double click, respace, yes, to respace those. And there you have our spaced out eyebrow. So let me just click on that, bring it over here, throw a weed box around it so we could see it a little bit better. But you can see how nice and even that stone spacing is all the way around. So yeah, it's a very, very useful feature. And like I said, we're going to do lots of different examples and demonstrations of where you would utilize that feature. But I think you're really going to like that new feature where it automatically creates our path and automatically sets our stones for us. So I hope you're excited about this feature because it is something that will make the design process dramatically easier for you going forward. Thanks for watching.